This is a chapter from REMORANDOM Everything Interesting Volume 2 by REMO Giuffré. It's called The Scream. You know a painting is truly iconic when it turns up in your emojis, i.e. you plus 1F631, face screaming in fear. The Scream is a famous painting created by the Norwegian artist Edvard Munch, often associated with the symbolist and expressionist movements. The painting depicts a figure, Munch himself as it happens, standing on a bridge with a turbulent and colourful sky in the background. The figure is shown in a state of extreme distress, with a distorted face and hands on the side of the head. There are actually not one but 5 versions of the Scream, 3 paintings, a pastel and a lithograph created between 1893 and 1917, and it forms part of a series of paintings entitled The Frieze of Life. Many historians interpret the painting as a representation of the artist's inner turmoil and anxiety, possibly related to his experiences with mental illness. Indeed, Munch was confronted with death at a very early age. His mother died of tuberculosis when he was only 5 years old, and he lost one of his sisters to the same disease when he was only 13. Shortly afterwards, another of his sisters suffered from severe depression and was committed for life, while his brother died suddenly of pneumonia only a few months after his marriage. A rough trot. So, what does the painting itself represent? An excerpt from Munch's diary gives us some insight. On the 22nd of January 1892, he wrote these lines. I was walking along the road with 2 friends. The sun was setting. I felt a wave of sadness. The sky suddenly turned blood red. I stopped, leaned against the fence, tired to death, gazed out over the flaming clouds like blood and swords, the blue-black fjord and city. My friends walked on. I stood there, quaking with angst, and I felt as though a vast, endless scream passed through nature. So, contrary to popular belief, the scream does not come from the figure, but from nature. The figure appears frightened and covers his ears to muffle the deafening scream. According to some scientists, his reference to the endless scream passed through nature might conceivably be linked to the violent eruption in 1883 of Krakatoa, an Indonesian volcano. That eruption caused a deafening noise, the loudest ever heard on Earth. The Scream has had a significant impact on popular culture. The poster from the 1990 Chris Columbus film, Home Alone, was inspired by both the Scream and, as it happens, how the actor Macaulay Culkin reacted to the scene where he is directed to scream due to cologne burning his face. The mask worn by the primary antagonists of the Scream series of horror movies, starting in 1996, is based on the painting. And, as you might imagine, there are lots of visual parodies of the Scream out there. The Scream is often cited as a symbol of existential angst and modern anxiety. Its enduring popularity and cultural impact make it a subject of ongoing analysis and interpretation by art historians, psychologists, and philosophers. That story, The Scream, was from REMORANDOM Everything Interesting, Volume 2 by REMO Giuffré.